Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to my channel. It is the Jalissa Joy, and welcome to part 3 of Say Something While Black with Miss Brittaney Chatman. So part 1 and 2 you should have already watched, but if you didn't, part 1 was just an introduction, just getting your feet wet, getting you to know who we are. Part 2, we're getting into the situation. You kind of know what's happening. You know what the inciting incident is. Now we are going to get into deeper the issues and problems with our institution. Why are these rules and regulations, why are they even an issue for us, and why they need to be changed? How it is like when you mobilize your community and how your community comes together, and also what was it like to have to confront our faculty and teachers, because it's like now you don't feel like you're equal, or at least for myself, I never feel like I'm a master to my professors. Like, I always have this reverence, for them. I always look to them a particular way. So it was interesting to be coming to people that you hold in high esteem, to talk to them about issues that some of them might be taking personally. So that was very interesting. We'll get into that. Also, be sure to check out my blog about this issue, because it talks about my experience with dealing with these 3 different institutions. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share. Let's get to it.
Actor Studio Drama School is a family, and it's heavily flawed, but we would not be doing this if we didn't care. We want there to be a restructuring of the program so that it can truly thrive. I really want to take the time to really acknowledge, my colleagues of color who, stepped right on in and added on to the document, where my 3rd, 4th, and 5th pair of eyes looked over it, gave me feedback, offered suggestions, would go in and help, edit things for me. And even I want to give a shout out to like our non-Black colleagues who are very supportive. They even had meetings on, where they would discuss how to show up for us properly, creating guidelines. They would have meetings with us, and we would tell them what our guidelines were, and then they would go and share it amongst each other. They would also, make a list of people who they saw were not getting involved, that needed to get involved, and they used their white privilege, and they used, the relationships that they had with people who really needed to join in on the conversation, and invited them and encouraged them, and told them what we were doing and why this work is so important. So to see all of us come together, people from the class of 2005 and 2010, all of us coming together and talking about this and having meaningful conversations and doing it respectfully, I feel like it's very powerful. I always say, you can do it by yourself, but when you have all of these unique experiences in the program coming together in that 32-page document, in that 8-page document, and you present that to them, it shows itself much more powerful and much more stronger. And that's exactly what happened. Because when it got in the hands of the incoming chair, when it got into his hands and he read it, he not only respected it, but he used it as a secret weapon to be able to address the faculty, to address the staff, and to address the PACE admin. And if it were not for the letter of demands and immediate actionable strategy plan, and for the You Are Not Alone document, which is 32 pages, then we would not have, and I know you said 47%, but now we're up to 70%
Really?
of our demands have been met in such a short amount of time.
Gave it to them.
It was in July.
In July. So,
Yeah.
and it's August.
Yeah.
Yeah, so within maybe a month and a half time.
Which is a short amount of time to honor demands that quickly.
And these are not little demands. I want to make it clear, like, one of them is having more diverse faculty. Like, people have been hired.
Yes.
People have left.
They're creating a summer intensive and a winter intensive program where they partner with other, organizations, Black rep theater companies, if you will, or other organizations that have successful Black people working in the industry, for our students to get a chance to collaborate with them so that, you're helping to, you know, build a strong network for them. So coming out of school that, you know, they can be connected to these organizations and boom, possible job opportunities. You know,
because as we know, like if no one sees you, they don't know that you exist.
Right.
When it comes to the acting world,
exactly.
you know, so it's a lot. It's very heavily based on relationships and networking and who you know. And if you don't know anyone,
then hey, because as much as we love this art form, you know, 90% of what we do is being entrepreneurs. We're entrepreneurs. It's all about the business. So far, we have 3 tracks. We have a playwriting track, directing track, and an acting track. And because we're living in an industry where it's not enough to just do one thing, now they're allowing more of a multidisciplinary track where you can, you know, actors who are interested in directing can be able to take workshops, more courses in that, playwriting, and then they're adding a producing track and also a casting directing track, because we need more people of color on that end to be able to identify, you know, more, you know, artists of color and bring them in. A lot of the teachers have begun restructuring their program, their curriculums, that the acting teachers, some of them are stepping back to allow, you know, teachers of color to come in. Which is huge. They're creating some sort of electronic portal for students to come in and find, you know, more works from, you know, Black playwrights. They are implementing, they're actually outsourcing to bring someone in to conduct racial bias workshops. That's really important. We're going to have a literary advisory board consisting of people of color who are very successful in the industry, that will consist of Black dramaturgs, directors, playwrights, casting people, so that whenever we're pitching, you know, thesis projects, you know, you'll have that literary board to vet and go, okay, like we need more, you know, Black playwrights, we need more of this, we need more of that.
And people, this is huge. And the reason why this is huge is because even up until right now, you know, this current class that's graduating, there would be works that we would want Black people, as in we would want to produce, and they wouldn't go for it as far as it being put up in thesis because, the time, the way that you guys talk, we don't have the people here to be able to train you to speak, you know, that specific way, or to do this or to do that, or we don't really know enough. All these hoops, all this systemic stuff that withholds Black people from being able to put on the work that they would want to put on. So it's huge to now have Black people in the room to be able to help us and to explain, you know, to white people, usually is what it is and what it has been. Why, no, you need to do this, and this is why, and this is how we can do it. You can actually do X, Y, and Z. So this is, you know, revolutionary, everything that, you know, they've taken on and what Brittaney's, you know, spearheaded in regards to this, because this program, when quarantine is over, this will be a completely different program, a much stronger program. It was not easy, you know, actually talking to, you know, our past professors and communicating with them. And, you know,
seeing a lot of them on the Zoom screens. I remember a lot of us were texting and saying we have knots in our stomach, you know, and actually like looking them in their faces and expressing what happened to us, you know. And there were a lot of challenges, you know. There were, you know, people from, you know, PACE's legal team who wanted to shut down meetings, you know, and we've had to find ways to work around that. And again, like the incoming chair has really shown his commitment to making sure that our demands are met, and then some. Even things that weren't, you know, listed on our demands, he's like, no, like we need to do. The fact that he incorporated his own ideas and is truly showing how immensely like supportive he is and how determined he is to make sure that, we feel more comfortable in the program, that we feel valued and appreciated, and feeling like the school, the admin, the faculty truly want to set us up for success.
I guess the parts that like bothered me were, the fact of it was very clear that some teachers and people were taking what was being done or is being done personal. And, they're not understanding that this is against the institution, against the systemic principles that have been set in place.
Yes.
And it's very difficult to break those things apart. And, my issue is like our program is sanctioned by the Actors Studio. So, when I got on and, would say my piece, it was just like, this is every issue goes to the head. If there is a problem in a program, it is because whoever at the top something's wrong at the top.
Very much
And you
so.
have to talk to the head to get everything else taken care of.
Yeah.
And in regards to the Actors Studio Drama School, who's at the head is Pace University and the Actors Studio.
Mm-hmm.
And, there are a lot of inner workings in the Actors Studio, from the inside, that there are a lot of problems. Many of the same issues that the program is experiencing, because again, that is the head.
Yes.
There's always, if you're seeing something expressed at the bottom, it's because it's coming from the top.
So do you want to explain to them like how when we graduate we automatically become finalists for the Actors Studio and how that works?
Yeah, so when you graduate from the Actors Studio Drama School, it's like a known thing, and also it brings you in. You're like, ooh, the Actors Studio, like you become a finalist.
Yeah.
And so you're a finalist for a year. But when you actually graduate and you get into the Actors Studio, they are not, the air is they look down, they frown upon the people from the Actors Studio Drama School.
So we have to audition in front of these people, and yet when you're a first year finalist, you are not allowed to work in session unless you are working with someone who's already a lifetime member. Now the issue with that is that they don't provide a space for you to get more acquainted with lifetime members. So it's if you're walking in kind of like having to
you're trying to navigate, because there's a lot of older white people there. That's
yeah,
just what it is.
It
no
feels
offense.
like politics. It
Yeah,
feels
it's
like
very
you have to do a
political.
lot of like, shaking hands, kissing babies, smiling. If people don't want to deal with you, you have to find creative ways to get seen. It's like you almost have to like really like beg, if you will, to like be seen and to work with these members and to work, in session. And so, a lot of us who audition, like they've never.
That was the first time seeing us. Like
first time seeing us, haven't come, and there are some lifetime members who would show up and come to our festivals and then come to see our, showcase, and then later on came to see our thesis performance in the rep season, but many of them do not. So, especially the ones who are on the board, on the committee that's watching our auditions. And so that is the first time that they've ever seen us. So, and it's already a very like intense environment. So sometimes you're extremely nervous, and your nerves can get the best of you. But even what we noticed there is that they don't accept a lot of Black finalists into their studio as lifetime members. Sometimes they make you stay a finalist for like 2 years or so.
Yeah, and I don't want to make this sound like, because they do that to white people too.
Oh yeah, they do.
But I think the difference is in what you're getting at is with the Black finalists. One, there aren't as many Black people as there are white people there, period.
Yeah.
And then two, that also comes into roles. Like there's a lot of ageism there because there's older people. So when it comes to who's going to work with us, it's less of an amount of people that can work with us or are willing to work with us. Because, people we all know the story of like white people and older white people, and like when it
Yeah.
comes to acting and all that kind of stuff, like, so it's a lot of that. There was a lot of that there.
Yeah.
So it's already a smaller amount of people that are going to be willing to work with us in the first place, and so that makes our journeys that much more difficult to work with people that already have their nose, you know, turned up, you know, at us, and are looking down on us because of where we graduated from. And then when we're trying to do work, we don't even, like, there's people that I know are mega talented, and many of same class, same graduating class, nothing different, except for race. I've seen people of a white background that are able to go up in session multiple times. They're able to go up and they're able to do things. But you take a black person, if they do grow up, they might be like an extra in a scene or something.
Yeah.
No one's, even the white, no offense, even the white, even the black lifetime members, they're not giving their black counterparts the same privileges that they're accounting to, you know, our white counterparts when they're trying to do the same exact things. Mm-hmm. So there is just there are so many issues at the top.
Yes.
And then, you know, don't even get me started on Pace University and the things that they have done to try to, you know, intimidate, you know, what's been going on, and to try to not have people fight for what we deserve.
Yeah, because they stalling when we're trying to get a meeting to talk about those financial reparations. Because look, we're not backing down from that.
I think like the fact that you're like, or we're going to have them pay us back our tuition.
Oh
is
yeah,
huge.
that's huge.